Today, I'm very excited to show you 3 clever ways that muffin tins can make your morning a little more delicious. What I love about using muffin tins in the kitchen is that all of the food comes out pre-portioned and extra portable, which is great for busy people on the go. And the best part about all 3 of these recipes is that they are entirely gluten-free. So today, I'm going to get started by showing you my spinach, tomato, and goat cheese frittatas, some beautiful potato rosti with sour cream and chives, and finally, my almond breakfast bites that are excellent on the go. All right, so let's get started with our frittatas. So I've got my greased muffin tins standing by and my oven preheated to 350 degrees. In a measuring cup, I'm going to whisk together some eggs, a nice splash of milk. You can totally leave the milk out of this recipe, but I find it makes for a nice fluffy frittata. Some garlic powder, some salt, and some pepper, and some more pepper. So then we are just going to give this a nice whisk in our measuring cup. In my muffin tins, I'm going to layer some chopped spinach, some cherry tomatoes that I've just cut in half, and finally, some goat cheese. Now, if you don't like goat cheese, you can definitely replace it in this recipe with some mozzarella or even some white cheddar would work just as well. I'm going to fill my muffin tins with my egg mixture. You're looking to fill your tins about 3/4 of the way full. Into the oven, these are going to go for between 15 and 20 minutes or until they're completely set. Once they're finished baking, they are ready to eat. Or you can store them in your refrigerator for 2 to 3 days and just grab them as you head out the door in the morning. Next up, I'm excited to show you my tasty potato roasties with sour cream and chives. For this recipe, you could use all traditional potatoes or all sweet potatoes, but I really prefer a combination of them both. Now, all I've done is peeled my potatoes and then shredded them. Now, I did this in my food processor with a shredding blade, but you could totally do this by hand using a box grater and a little bit of elbow grease. Now, the most important step in making a good potato roastie is to be sure to drain all of the water from your potatoes. Today, I'm doing this using just a clean kitchen towel, and all I'm going to do is squeeze out all of the excess moisture. Now, this is really important if you want to have a nice, crispy outside on your roastie with a soft, yummy middle. Once the potatoes are ready, all we're going to do is drizzle them with a little bit of olive oil, some garlic powder, and some salt and pepper. Keep in mind that you can season these any way you like. You could use some Greek seasoning or some Italian seasoning. Some chili powder and cumin would be really yummy, but today I'm keeping it very simple. Now that this is all well combined, we are going to scoop the mixture into our greased muffin tin. You want to make sure you're greasing your muffin tin very well because you don't want these guys sticking. Once you've filled your muffin tin, you're going to press the potatoes into the pan and leave a little reservoir in each. That's where our sour cream and chives are going to go. We're going to bake these at 375 degrees for between 30 and 40 minutes. Once your roasties are ready, you can top them with sour cream. In this case, I mix my sour cream with some salt and pepper and a little bit of onion powder. We're just gonna finish these off with some chopped chives, and how amazing do these look? Finally, on today's menu, I'm excited to share my recipe for my almond breakfast bites. These are really easy to put together and they're no bake, so they all come together actually in your freezer. We are going to be using our food processor to pulse some raw almonds and some sunflower seeds. What we're looking for is a coarse crumb mixture. Next, we are going to head to the stove to heat up some almond butter and some honey. You really could use any sort of nut butter that you want, and you could replace the honey with maple syrup or agave if you wanted to keep these totally vegan. We're going to heat this mixture up over medium-low heat until it's smooth and pliable. Next, in our bowl, we are going to combine our almond mixture with some raisins and some dried cranberries. Then we are going to pour in our almond butter mixture. And then, while it's still warm, you really just want to work it into your almonds. It is very likely that you are going to need your hands for this job, so just give them a good wash and don't be afraid to get in there. Next, we are going to press our mixture into our muffin tin. Now, I'm using muffin tins that I've lined with these parchment cupcake liners. I absolutely love these because nothing sticks to them and they make these breakfast bites extra portable. You may have to scoop a couple times and keep pressing until you've filled your muffin tins completely. Then you can just put these guys in the freezer for 20 to 30 minutes. Once they're set, you can eat them right away or store them in the refrigerator for up to 5 days. I hope you'll give these fantastic breakfast ideas a try, and if you do, be sure to tweet or Instagram me a photo because you know I love seeing what you're coming up with in your very own kitchens. And for another great gluten-free breakfast idea, be sure to check out the latest episode of my new series, Mobile Meal Makeover, on Kin Community. Now, I am whipping up my fantastic protein pancakes, and I think you guys will absolutely love them. So don't forget to check it out. Finally, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to The Domestic Geek because there's lots more deliciousness where this came from.